Ira Epstein, and here we are with your morning flash update. And this is for Tuesday, the 18th of July, 2023. Well, let's take a look at the day's news if we could. Redbook Group came out with their weekly retail sales, and they're negative. Now, if you remember, about 8 months ago, 7 months ago, something like that, I kept saying, we're going to go negative this year. You watch and see. And now we are regularly negative. So that's the first thing. The Federal Reserve industrial production and capacity numbers came out, and they're all negative as well today. We'll get the National Association of Home Builders monthly market housing index at 9. Business inventories for May, which is very old, that's going to come out at 9 o'clock. And we'll get the API numbers on the energy coming out today at 3:30. Now, part of what's behind the rally that's gotten into the grains is that Russia has bombed Odessa, the port there, and another port in the Ukraine. And they're saying it's retaliation for what's happened on the Crimea bridge. Okay, but it's more than that. Doing damage now to the ports, regardless of what you might think is going to happen, pretty much will wrap up if the damage is severe. The idea that Ukraine will easily become a grain exporter anytime soon. A lot of traders said, this is just trying to get where the fertilizer and the SWIFT systems can get back into play for Russia. I think it's more than that now when you're bombing the ports, because once you damage the infrastructure, it takes a long time to rebuild it. I don't know how much damage was there, but the early reports are it is fairly substantial. As for the dollar, down again, and if the dollar's down, you know what you get out of the gold market and the silver, you're getting a bid. When we look at the copper market, there's some issues going on in the property markets that are ugly now for China. Evergrande is meeting with its creditors trying to get before the July 24th, 25th date when a court order might kick in and they could have to go into some liquidation phase there where they can get Class B and C people to agree to some sort of restructuring. Now, the Class Bs did agree. The Cs have not at this point in time, so I don't know where that leaves them. Notice the bonds and notes are getting a bid today. Even Europe now, you're starting to see some of the European members on the ECB Monetary Committee saying that maybe it's one more rate hike and that might be it for everything. So we'll see. The world's quickly coming to the point where people are questioning, is the slowdown coming? Is the inflation falling? Goldman Sachs came out again today and said, you can keep this inversion on the 210s and not even have to see a necessary pullback in the economy. Okay, but that sort of flies in the face of logic and what we've all been taught over the economics of the 2-10-year. On the other hand, I can agree with them that if you remember the Taylor principle on inflation and wages, and that didn't hold true. So there are times when you can sidestep certain events. Maybe that's what they're saying. I don't know. On the energy markets, you're seeing that you are getting another form of a bid coming into the marketplace. I was reading and I wrote today in my research report that Russia is cutting back rather dramatically all forms of shipment from a number of independent sources that do track the ships. So they are quickly getting into the compliance. They will lose revenue by doing so, but that's what they have to do, I think, in order to keep the OPEC group together. And remember, they're going to be the top producer at this point. Another thing I'd like to show you is on our website, to get to our free offers, all you need to do is come up here, and once you give them a click, they will open up and you'll be able to choose from a number of them. And here they come. You just click your blue button, select your offers, as you'll see. You click OK, got it. You can scroll through and get the many different offerings we have. To get here, it's pretty simple. You go to iraepstein.com or just move your cursor over the top of the page. You'll see an icon appear up there for you, and away you go. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a good day. I will speak to you all later this afternoon in our market wrap-up.